Hi everyone, this is mining, and I just wanted to share with you my first mining build and some of the problems that I had setting it up, so that those of you who are looking to get into mining might learn from some of my mistakes, some of my frustrations. So let me just start off. This was originally I had right now these are 5 GeForce GTX 1080 Ti's, all running off of one motherboard with Windows operating system. Right now I'm using NiceHash. I wasn't using it when I started, but maybe in another video I can talk about why I switched to NiceHash. But with these, some of the issues that I ran into was, so I am using an ASRock H110 Pro BTC Plus motherboard. As you can see, I'm using riser extensions. So when I was setting this up, first of all, I had no problem setting up the motherboard. I had no graphics cards hooked up to it. Got Simple Mining OS installed. I have a Corsair H1200i, which I thought was going to be able to run the 4 GTX 1080 Ti's. And what happened was I installed the first riser and the first 1080 GTI, started mining just fine. So I installed the second one, no issues there. So then what I did was I installed the third and the fourth one, and that's when the system wouldn't post at all. So what I actually found out what the problem was twofold. Number one, this full PCI slot, when I had one of these risers plugged into it, it just wouldn't post. So I figured that out, and then I used the other extenders in the non-full slot, and it booted up. Then the problem became, because I had 4 GTX 1080 Ti's running on just one power supply, the Simple Mining would start up, and then about 10 seconds after it got warmed up, it would just immediately shut down. And there was 2 problems with that. Number one, the board wasn't getting enough power. I actually didn't plug in these 4-pin connectors to the board, as you can see. So in order for you to get enough juice to your actual motherboard, you need to plug these in, which building gaming PCs I had no experience doing. So as you can see, here's one of them. It's a split cable, and then this plugs into this other one here, which is providing enough power for the board to actually work. Then what became the issue was, so this power supply, the 1200 watt, was not powerful enough to run 4 of these GTX 1080 Ti's. So I took an old power supply I had. As you can see, this Seasonic Platinum from 2014, and it has 660 watts, and I was able to run the 4th GTX 1080 off of that with no stability problems whatsoever. As you can see, what I did here, in order to get the 2 power supplies to work, you have the power supply plugged into the motherboard, and then you're using this splitter here to connect the 2 power supplies. So this is the primary one is the Corsair 1200, secondary is the Seasonic Platinum, and they're plugged in using this adapter, which was like $18. And that got everything working, except the system isn't stable with the 660 watts. So what'll happen is I'll be mining for maybe 24 hours, and then this will shut off. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to install a brand new Corsair H1200, and then that should solve the stability problems. What I'd ultimately like to do with this rig is I'd like to have 2 additional GTX 1080s, set up a small mounting spot here, running along here, and also here. So one GTX 1080 Ti, another one over here, and that would make a 7 GTX 1080 board. And I believe that these 2 1200 Corsairs should be able to power that no problem. I did make the switch to Windows. I wanted to have some access to overclock and do some things with the graphics cards. So I meant buying a SSD card. I did get Windows for, I think it was Windows Pro for $24. So that was good. And as you can see here, with the nice hash, right now it's farming Equihash, total speed 3.9 kilohashes per second, and it's paying from nice hash $17.39 a day, and that's not too bad at all. That's a little bit more than $3 per card. It goes up and down. Sometimes it goes as low as maybe $14.50, but that's very rare. And it's gone as high as, like, yesterday it was actually mining at about $23. It did that for about 2 hours. So in between, I like to be conservative. Think that you have these 3 GTX 1080 Ti's mining, and you'll probably earn about $3 per card. So that's it. I'll show you guys what it looks like with the second Corsair 10 1200i installed. Thanks for watching.